In Mexico, a masked rebel icon has come out of hiding for the first time in 5 years to announce he will step down. Known as Subcomandante Marcos, he's been the public face of the Zapatista rebellion movement in Chiapas state. He says his persona is now dead and a new one will take his place. CCTV's Frank Contreras joins us live from Mexico City with more on this story. Frank.
Yes, thanks, Susan. This, of course, is the leader of the Zapatista rebel movement, at least the public face of this indigenous movement that took up arms against the Mexican government in 1994. That was the same year, as you'll remember, that the North American Free Trade Agreement went into effect. Indigenous people across this country were concerned that it would impact them in a very negative way, and in the southern part of Mexico, they decided to take up a rebellion against the Mexican government. They were demanding things like schooling and health clinics, things like that. This happened in the southern state of Chiapas, a place where children and elderly indigenous people are still dying from curable diseases. And so Subcomandante Marcos was out of the public eye for a long time, since 2007. He said that he would stop being involved in politics with the Zapatista movement, though that movement has continued during all this time. And now he came out again on Sunday saying that he'll be changing his name and that this icon, Subcomandante Marcos, will no longer exist. Susan.
Well, the Zapatista member is certainly a fascinating figure. Just looking at him, and known for his poetic style. Frank, why the switch to the name Galeano?
He's switching to the name Galeano because that's a reference to a Zapatista teacher who was killed in violent clashes over land earlier this month of May 2014 in Mexico's southern state of Chiapas. It's a place where land conflicts have taken place over the centuries. The icon, formerly known as Subcomandante Marcos, will now be Galeano, Subcomandante Galeano. And of course, he's an eloquent spokesman for the Zapatista movement. He wrote things like making reference to the 500-year history of the conquest here in Mexico. You can see part of it behind me here. The cathedral itself was built in the Mexico City Square by tearing down indigenous temples. That was just the beginning of the kind of destruction. Marcos referred to it as the long night of 500 years. Those are the kind of eloquent words he used constantly to try to support the Zapatista movement. He says at this stage, Marcos is no longer in existence. Essentially, he has died as a character, and now a new character has been reborn in the name of Subcomandante Galeano. Susan.
Frank Contreras reporting live from Mexico City.